happy baby name Monday. I hope you're all super duper well. Yeah, this is a boy name list today. I absolutely love putting together name lists. And this one is called Rustic-Romance. So all of the names on this list are super stylish and they're kind of trend setting. So they're all within the kind of outdoorsy, woodsy, strong boy name vibe, but they've also got a little bit of a lovely meaning to them that kind of soften them up a little bit. So you'll kind of see where I'm going with this vibe as I go through. I've got over 50 names, so I'm going to whiz through them. Not too much chit chat. Wish me luck. Last week I did the romantic harem girl name list, which is kind of similar vibe. I'll link it below. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're brand new and you're naming a baby and you need names. This is the community to be a part of. There's a podcast, there's Instagram, it's all happening and it's all about baby names. Okay, so the first name I have on this list is one that I keep seeing popping up on forums, and I want you to let me know what you think of it. It's the name Thoreau. So it's quite an unusual name. So looking into it, I realised it's a surname as first name of a really famous American writer called Henry Thoreau, and he was very well known for this kind of individualistic way of life or philosophy about life that he really pushed forward. So, you know, if you don't agree with a rule, you should break that rule, and that's kind of what his writing was all about. I feel like that's where the name Thoreau has come from. I love the look of it, and I just feel like it's got this real free-spirited, trendy vibe that we like. If you like a Thor, but you feel it's a little bit too much, then you could go with a Thoreau. What about the name Vesper? So I feel like this has Jasper vibes, but a bit more trendy with that really cool V, and it means evening star. So it kind of fits into the outdoorsy wilderness walks, kind of wild nature type of theme that we're going for. Quite a popular name. I also have the name Elliot on this list. I didn't want them all to be super wacky. Elliot actually means with strength and righteousness. So it's really kind of cool for this kind of rugged romance vibe. And I just think that Elliot is a really gorgeous name, and it is gender neutral as well. So hitting quite a lot of modern sparks. The name Devereaux. What do you think of it? I really like it. It's got the V and the X. And it means the bank of a river. So again, that sort of really cool, rugged cowboy type of thing, but the Devereaux making it seem quite romantic and long. A Theodore kind of vibes to me a little bit. I have the name Emrys, which is actually a Welsh name. Lots of these are Welsh. It's like the ultimate rugged romantic guy. Emrys is actually the Welsh for Ambrose, and where Ambrose might kind of with the rose ending seem a little bit more on the feminine side, Emrys could be a place to go with it. It's really nice, two-syllable name, and it is quite magical from the Welsh history, where it was connected to Merlin and being a wizard, and it actually means immortal. So it's kind of got that kind of cool, otherworldly, romantic side to it. The name Jericho, huge crush of mine at the moment, I mention it all the time. It means city of the moon, and really sums up to this to me. And I heard somebody who had little baby Jericho. I was out and about and I was like, oh my gosh, somebody's using it, because I just really think it is such a cool name. Or how about the name Donovan? This is Irish, Donovan. I see this on a lot of forums. It's got the surname as first name, but it's very rugged to me. It actually means dark-haired warrior. So Finn, my little boy's called Finn, and that actually means blonde soldier. So probably more suits our family, whereas Donovan is this dark warrior. And I really like it. I like the nickname Van as well, if you were going to go for Donovan. If you want a short name, the name Pax, which means peace. But I feel like with Jax just being everywhere in the UK at the moment, Pax is super cool and has that strength to it as well that makes it quite rugged, even though it means peace. I really think it's a great choice. The name Foxley is a really interesting one. So it means a clearing in the woods where a fox lives. Specific. But I kind of feel like with Fox, I really liked it, but I was not brave enough to go just with Fox. Whereas I think Foxley makes it a little bit easier, more wearable. Foxley, you can imagine this being quite a rugged, outdoorsy boy name. Going to Scandinavia, the name Alto. Would you think they would more say Altu? I can't really do my Scandinavian accent, but it's actually a Finnish origin and it means wave. So I really liked that because I feel like it's a strong Scandinavian boy name that has that sort of coastal, strong vibe, that sort of idea of these big, long, strong waves. Similar, it's not actually a water name, but the name Ripley, which kind of seems again like a kind of like, this just makes me think that I'm outdoors in the mountains and there's this kind of like rippling river going through with rapids. I don't know why, I just totally vision that. It is actually a place name, so there's lots of places called Ripley around the UK and probably around the world, and it means again there's a clearing near a wood. Anything with a lee ending we know kind of means clearing, so Ripley. But I think it's a really cool name. The name June, what do you think? So it's a really hard one because June like this is a sandbank and I absolutely love it. We have a gorgeous new baby June in our community and I just absolutely loved it. But then it sounds like June as in with the J. It's hard to sort of say Dune, June. So yeah, what do you think of it? I really like it. I like the fact that it says June, like the spring month as well. I think it's really, really nice. The name Heath, kind of poster boy for this list, Heath. It's not so popular as you'd imagine it would be. It had a bit of a boost after Heath Ledger passed away. We normally see sort of celebrity names kind of boom a little bit afterwards, but I really like Heath. Again, that just outdoor rugged wilderness, absolutely perfect. Or Thatcher. So that's an interesting one. Obviously, you think of Margaret Thatcher, but Thatcher by itself is an occupational name which was to create those thatched roofs, and with cottagecore being so out there, and then this idea of it being quite an outdoorsy occupational name, a thatcher, you know, it was a hard job. You had to go up there and build those roofs. It's quite kind of like hands-on and rugged. I think it's a really, really cool name. Or the name Rasmus, which is slightly different, but it's Scandinavian again. I've always felt to me that it is this ultimate rugged kind of outdoorsy, but it's got that gentle romantic meaning where it means beloved. So like a Rasmus, like a god's name, but just Rasmus. So I really, really think it's perfect for this name list. The name Charlton is really nice. It's kind of like a Charlestown, but it was means a free settlement of men. So really cool. And if you like Charles or Charlie again, but you're looking for something a bit more unique, and that's why you've landed up on this channel, then you could go with Charlton. Or Eve, spelled like this, the French way. I love the look of it, like Yves Saint Laurent. It's so stylish, but this name actually means you would, as in Y-E-W would. So it's got that kind of mixture of being quite romantic and almost beautiful written down, but then that sort of strength of it being this kind of wood, nature, masculine meaning, Eve. It is hard with Eve being such a feminine name, but you could say Eves. You could, I mean, you don't traditionally say the S, but I wouldn't ever let that stop us brave namers. The name Dayton, that's cool, isn't it? It means a bright and sunny town, so super cool. Or the name Peregrine. So you could go with Perry as a nickname. Perry means pear tree. Peregrine is kind of a wild nature name. Obviously peregrine falcon, which you think of, but Peregrine by itself actually means traveller. So you can really see that as this kind of like rugged romantic hero kind of out on the moors by himself. Yeah, getting distracted. What about the name Kelby? What do you think of that? Kelby is an English name and it means dweller at a farm by a stream. Very specific, but I quite like it, Kelby, and I think it's quite cool, especially if you're looking for a kind of K name, because they're quite popular, like a Casper. Kelby, I think really works. Phineas. So Phineas has become kind of more popular since The Greatest Showman. I really like it, and I heard it again recently because we binge watched The Kissing Booth with my children, not by myself, which is like this Netflix teen show, and he's called Phineas, goes by Finn, and I was like, oh, I've got a Finn, I kind of wish I'd gone with Phineas, and I love the meaning of it because it means oracle, so sort of truth teller, somebody you can see in the future, which I love because I think it's got a real romantic vibe to it, but Phineas sounds super strong. Oh, how about the name Oleander? It means evergreen tree, which I absolutely love, and I feel like with Oliver being so popular, Oleander is great. A bit like Orlando, but even more unique. And I like land, like that sort of feels to me the real earthy side of this name. Rollo. Rollo is a super cool name. Again, it's a bit like an Ollie. So you could have an Oleander whose nickname was Rollo even. It's a really cool name. It means famous in the land, and it's a Viking type of name, Rollo. Super trendy. The next name is Albion. So I wondered if this was just pronounced Albin, but when I've looked at pronunciations, it does come up as Albion. I really like it because Albi is quite a popular name. It was on our boy name list, Albion, but it's Irish origin and means white cliffs. So that's so rugged and outdoorsy. I absolutely love it, Albion. Really nice. What about the name Cosmo? Scarlett Johansson recently had little baby Cosmo. Really like it. Again, I think it super suits this name list. It's sort of a Greek, the original cosmos was a Greek word, but it means order in beauty. So yeah, just this idea of that sort of ultimate nature and bringing everything together and seeing a pattern in nature. Really romantic, but a really strong, cool name. Hemsley. I really like this name, came across it means island. Hemsley, really into that one, just think it's really trendy. Or, let me know how you pronounce this, Dante. So I would say Dante, but people say Dante. Doesn't really matter, up to you. It's an Italian name originally, and it means enduring and steadfast. You always think of Dante's Inferno as well, so kind of literary cool vibes, Dante. Really, really cool, such a trendy name. And then I've got a falcon. I know I already said peregrine, so that's a bit of a double up, falcon, but I do really like it if we're going for a bit of a strong, rugged name. You couldn't go too wrong with looking at wild birds, and I have done bird names and wild nature names. Got it all sorted, been doing this for a while. What about the name Keats? So it's a surname as first name, Keats. I really, really like it. I love one syllable names. I love names that end in the S for boy. Just think it sounds so complete. Obviously think of the poet, but it's a name that comes all the way back to Anglo-Saxon times in the UK, and it meant herdsman. So sort of herding animal, Keats. Isn't that a cool name? I absolutely love it. Could go with the name Herbie. I love the name Herbie, nickname as first name kind of, but really lovely. I know a few Herbies, and always kind of wish my husband would have been brave enough for it, because I just think it's so cool. And I love this name, Ellsworth. One I haven't heard, so Elliot from earlier is a bit more common, but if you wanted something a bit different, you could go with Ellsworth, and it means from a great man's house. So really unusual, isn't it? Kind of like Elwood, we've talked about before, but Ellsworth. Yeah, quite out there, but really nice. Name Hollis, which means holly tree, great for a Christmas baby as well. Or Kenzo, which is actually Japanese, meaning strong, healthy, kind of vitality, Kenzo. So like the brands, really is a brand name, but ending in the O, really, really trendy. And again, a bit of an alternative, like a Casper or something like that, Kenzo. Avis means bird, and I really like it. We do have, a lot of these words have been chosen by brands already, so we do have a car hire thing called Avis in the UK, which makes it harder to use, but I know a lot of you from all around the world, you might really like the name Avis. Or I loved the name Dion, which is the god of wine. Dion, I really like that, and I really like wine, so it's kind of perfect for me. A name crush we've got at the moment on this channel is the name Bayou. Bayou, oh my god, my sister absolutely loves this name, and we had it on the podcast with someone's dilemma, so the podcast is all answering dilemmas, and it means small stream, super gorgeous. And the name Valentine, couldn't have a rugged romance. I feel like that is rugged as well, Valentine, but let me know what you think, because it could be Val as a nickname as well, which makes it really, really cool, but it means health and strength, so like valor. So it's got that blend of love and also strength as well. I've got the name Kalle, which is a Scandinavian name, also a German name. We have a Kalle in our family over in Sweden, and it means free. So it's like Carl. So I feel like Carl is so not used anymore in the UK, but Kalle is really, really nice. What do you think of the name Earl? I don't know, I put it on there, but I really like it, Earl. I thought it's a bit of a vintage throwback. It means friend of the sea. Yeah. I don't know how wearable it is, Earl. It's a bit like Pearl. Pearl's back, so why not Earl? Maybe. Am I pushing it too far? About Robinson. So we talked about Robin quite recently for a boy as a name that's kind of up and coming, but Robinson, obviously Robinson Crusoe vibes, so you might get that a lot. But I like it, and with surname as first name becoming so popular. And then funnily enough, a couple down, which I may as well jump up, is Sunny, which obviously would be the nickname, or Rob or Robin. Sunny, I did this a separate one. Sunny, for a lot of you, has that kind of real cowboy vibes as well. I love it. It's 100% high up on my baby boy name list. If I was having any more babies, which I'm not, the name Blythe, we talk about it a lot. It means to be carefree, which is so sort of outdoorsy, and also really romantic because it is just beautiful, and it means happy and carefree. What about the name Francis? Francis actually means liberated, and I think it's a really trendy one. It's become more known as a feminine name recently, but it is a boy name originally, Francis. Frankie's really popular, so Francis could be one that you really, really like. Woodrow, there's a row of trees, of course, Woodrow, really like it. And I know that for some of you, you can't quite land Woody, not too sure about it. And Woodrow, with a nickname then of Woody, could be a way to go. Or the name Davis. So, Davis, I don't know why I say like that. I was thinking of David. Davis, which means beloved, but again with that S ending, I do think sounds super strong. Zephyr. Such a cool name. It means gentle breeze, but so cool and trendy, very much like a Zachariah, but Zephyr. Love it. So nice. I would 100% consider that as well. And Darwin. Wish I'd have had this actually, Darwin. It means dear one, so really nice. It said dear friend. I think I've seen this dear friend or dear one. Darwin. Winnie is such a popular name for girls. And we could even have Darwin for a girl, couldn't you? Then call her Winnie. That would be so cool. Brooks is a really trendy name. Adding that S on the end to Brooke. Again, just makes it have that surname as first name, cool, and a bit of edge. Obviously means waterside. Sparrow, a little bit different from the falcon and the peregrine of earlier, but you know that Nicole Richie has a little boy, Sparrow Midnight, I think he's called. I've always liked it. It's a very small and gentle and fragile bird, but we've gone wren. We've been all over wren for a few years, so I wonder if we can go with Sparrow. I wonder if it's her or the fact that it's got kind of an arrow in the title that made me see it as kind of really bit of strength to it as well. Willard is a name that I came across. It's a very, very old name, old surname, and it means resolutely brave, Willard. And I liked it because if you didn't want to go with William, but you love Will, Willard is a really cool alternative. You could go with Rain. We've talked about it before, to reign, to be in charge, to be a leader, but also with the nature side of it sounding like it rainfall. I think is a really cool name for this list. Shiloh is lovely and it means peace. So a bit like Pax from earlier. Shiloh is very gender neutral, but I really, really like it for either boy or girl. I love it a lot. Ivo or Evo. How would you say that? Because I think you would say it differently depending on where you're from again. It means you or archer. So an Ivo was kind of like the, I guess the sort of the bow for an archer, but I really liked it, Ivo, and I thought if you wanted something that was quite simple, because Ivar or Ivar, how you would say it in Swedish, is really nice, but I wonder if just ending it with the O, which is on a few lists and a few forums, could be quite trendy. And my very last one is a place name. It's the name Oxford, which you might be like, oh my gosh, that doesn't sound like a, you have Paris, we've got London, we've got, you know, Hudson, really popular at the moment, which is obviously a river name. But I love Oxford because it means a place where the ox, where the cattle cross the river. So it's got that nature name to it, it's got that literary, historic vibe, but it's a really strong, cool name, and Ford is a brilliant nickname. So those are my rugged, romantic boy names. I think they're really stylish. I absolutely love this trend. Let me know what you think of it. Let me know what name list you would like to see next week. I'm definitely going to start blending some boy and girl name lists together. I'm going to keep bringing you all the new trends that you need to be ahead of the curve for 2022, because a lot of your babies now will be born then. The podcast will be back very soon. We've been on a bit of a break just for summer because we are both mums, it's me and my sister, but there's 20 episodes for you to have a listen to and catch up before that. Tons more to come. Let me know what names you would add to this list below. Again, do hit subscribe. I would appreciate it, and I will see you next Monday. Bye guys.